What are the worst American cars that you should avoid buying? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to Car Help Corner, where we help you, the consumer, master the process of car buying and car ownership. American cars tend to have a spotty track record for reliability and quality, but some are certainly far worse than others. And for this video, I'm going to share which ones are the absolute worst ones of all that are most likely just going to empty your bank account. So let's start things off with Ford. And without question, some of the worst brand new Fords that you should avoid are the Ford Escape and the Bronco Sport with the 3-cylinder EcoBoost engine. Fuel economy and emissions rules have forced many automakers to downsize their engines, and Ford's 3-cylinder EcoBoost is a perfect example of this. Unfortunately, asking a tiny overstressed turbocharged engine to move a big heavy crossover is not the best idea for longevity, and the Escape and Bronco Sport have had their fair share of reliability concerns as a result. The most serious issues include cracked injectors, which can lead to a fire, coolant leaks, turbo issues, and blown head gaskets causing engine failure. Ford does have a spotty track record with their small displacement EcoBoost engines, so the smartest and safest move is just to avoid them altogether. If you want a Ford Escape, the hybrid model with its naturally aspirated 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine is the much safer option. Sadly, it's not just these smaller engine Fords that you really need to avoid buying. You should also avoid buying the Ford Explorer and the Lincoln Aviator. Both SUVs are mechanically identical and have poor track records for their reliability. Problems include transmission issues, including transmission failure, EcoBoost engine problems including coolant leaks, turbo failure, and fracturing intake valves, which can completely take out the entire engine, which NHTSA is actually currently investigating. There are also a variety of electrical issues and hybrid system problems which are specific to the Aviator. Considering how expensive these vehicles are, problems of this caliber are just unacceptable, and chances are you will wind up with a money pit in the long run that will lose its value as quickly as it's going to empty your bank account with repair bills. And other Ford models are certainly not in the clear either. The truth is that any models with the EcoBoost engines have very hit or miss reliability. Broncos have been recalled for total engine failures, and the F-150 Power Boost was ranked as the least reliable vehicle in the Consumer Reports study last year, due to EcoBoost issues, electrical problems, and transmission issues. Some Ford models are better than others, and proper maintenance does help mitigate the risk to some degree, but even so, there's a lot to watch out for. And now, moving away from Ford, let's take a look at General Motors. And a good place to start here is with the Chevrolet Blazer EV. This vehicle has had one of the most disastrous launches when it hit the market at the end of 2023. The reliability problems were so bad that GM had to stop selling them so they could come up with fixes, which were not available at the time. The problems included charging issues, software glitches, and electronic failure with many of the car's features. Since the Blazer EV is so new, it is tough to say what kind of reliability it's going to deliver down the road, but it would seem that it is a pretty big gamble to buy one at this time. Other GM vehicles I would say to stay away from are the Buick Encore and the Chevy Trailblazer. These small crossovers are priced much higher than the more affordable Buick Envista and the Chevy Trax, but they really don't give you much, if anything, extra for that premium. In fact, when compared to those two, they just seem overpriced. They also use a very tiny 3-cylinder turbo engine, with underwhelming performance and potential reliability concerns. GM's history with small turbo engines is really not that good. Just ask any Chevy Cruze owner. And the combination of a tiny 3-cylinder engine with direct injection, turbocharging, and a wet timing belt is one that does not bode well for longevity. Even GM's bread and butter vehicles, their full-size pickup trucks, can be surprisingly problematic and reliability nightmares. These include the Chevy Silverado and the GMC Sierra with the 5.3-liter and 6.2-liter Ecotec 3 V8 engines. Although very nice trucks, GM's V8 engines have serious reliability issues related to their cylinder deactivation technology, which again is another complicated piece of tech designed to reduce emissions and improve fuel consumption. These engines have well-documented problems with lifter failure, which can occur at very low mileage and can completely take out the entire engine. The problem is so bad that there have been major class action lawsuits against General Motors. These trucks also have serious transmission problems, which have caused major headaches for owners. Now, none of the domestic trucks are really perfect, but GM issues are serious enough to force you to pause and reconsider owning one for the long run. And now let's move on to Tesla. And within the Tesla lineup, the biggest dud without question has to be the Tesla Model X. Unlike the super popular Model Y and Model 3, the Model X has become a bit of a forgotten relic. Slow sales have forced Tesla to slash the price several times, which has completely tanked the resale values on the used market. Even at a discount, the Model X is still wildly overpriced. It's also the most problematic and least reliable model that Tesla makes, so buying one will just result in a massive financial loss whichever way you cut it. Tesla has newer and better EVs now, so it's time for the Model X to just rest in peace. And finally, I've saved the best American automaker for last, which of course is Stellantis. Now, quite frankly, I don't even know where to begin with this one because Stellantis makes so many overpriced, underwhelming, money-draining duds that it isn't even really funny. I guess the logical place to start is Chrysler with their Pacifica, a ridiculously overpriced minivan that plummets in value, is plagued with so many reliability issues that Consumer Reports rated it the least reliable vehicle of 2024. And that's especially true of the plug-in hybrid version, which is the worst one of all. And then we have Dodge with the Hornet, a small little crossover with barely enough space for anything, with the mechanical parts of an Alfa Romeo, so you know repair shop visits will be inevitable, and a price tag higher than almost everything it competes with. Basically a total disaster recipe of a car. And then there's Ram, a truck brand which CarEdge ranked as the most expensive to maintain and repair of all mainstream brands. Every truck from the 1500 to the heavy duties have wildly expensive repair costs post-warranty. And now that Ram has replaced their Hemi V8 engine with a new, unproven, and rather complicated turbocharged 6-cylinder engine, I'm willing to bet that things are not going to be improving anytime soon. And of course, we have Jeep, a brand that could quite possibly be the epitome of an overpriced money pit. Jeeps have become so wildly expensive in recent years, even by current market inflation standards, that it really does defy logic. How about $40,000 to $45,000 for a Jeep Compass? Or if you thought that the age of $80,000 to $90,000 Jeep Grand Cherokees would never come, well, you better believe it. Or how about a Jeep Wagoneer north of $110,000 to $120,000? It's no wonder really why these vehicles seriously struggle to sell, and anyone who does purchase one takes a massive depreciation hit in no time at all. But while your Jeep's value goes plummeting, you can enjoy repair after repair along the way, because reliability and Jeep are two things that just can't seem to go together. It really is tough to make a sensible case for buying any Jeep, with the exception perhaps if you get an unbelievable deal that's just too good to pass up, particularly on a Wrangler, which is a model that at least has strong enough demand to maintain strong resale value, so you're not going to lose all your money like you would on, say, something like a Compass. For the most part, however, Stellantis is quite a mess of an automaker that's in need of major work. Now, even though I'm painting a pretty bleak picture of the American automakers, not every single vehicle that they make is that bad. And there are some really good options that some consumers might want to consider. And if you're interested in seeing a video on what those vehicles are, let me know in the comments. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also take a look at some of my other videos by clicking these links over here. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. And if you need additional car buying advice, recommendations, or help with getting a great deal on your next new car purchase, make sure to visit carhelpcan.com. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.